This is my track. I grew up in this neighborhood. You always got to think about what your exit strategy is. Every house has a story. I did it. Hey, so good to see you. It's been forever.
I know. It's been a long time, right?
I saw your mother at a party, and I wanted to say something to her, but she didn't know who I was. But if you see your mother, you know that that's Tashinga's mother. Yeah.
So we're here in Baltimore, and this is like your stomping ground,
Yes.
right? This is where you grew up.
Yes.
We're in a neighborhood where you actually grew up in.
Yeah.
You told me a lot about that, but tell us about this particular house. Tell us because you say every house has a story.
Every house
right?
has a story.
Yeah.
At least every house that I deal with has a story.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it comes together, but it's more, this is my business, but it's like a labor of love because all of these, like I say, every house has a story. All these houses mean something to me. We are on Guilford Avenue in East Baltimore. Guilford Avenue is where my roots come from. My father met my mother on Guilford Avenue. My grandmother, both of my grandmothers lived on Guilford Avenue, and my great-grandmother. So I spent all of my time here. So this house where we're sitting right now was my father's mother's house.
Okay.
I bought it from the family probably 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I just held on to it because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it.
Okay. So it's just been sitting here.
It's just been sitting here.
Okay.
And I get phone calls from my parents and my aunts. When are you going to do something with that house? You need to do something. For me, it's more than just a house to flip.
Okay.
So I can't just sell it.
Okay.
Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew I had to do something.
Okay.
But I had so many other projects going on that I really wasn't in a rush to jump on this. So I said, it'll be there. I'll get it when I need to get to it, when I need to get to it. So in this area between this block and that block, I've owned 7 houses, over $1 million in profits.
Got it.
Humbly stated, but I'm just, but it just means so much to me because I got these based off of the relationships that I've built growing up in this neighborhood. I was the little kid running through the alleys, but I also went to that church right there on the corner.
Yeah.
So even though I'm playing the alleys with the knuckleheads,
right,
I was in church on Sunday,
right,
playing the saxophone on the choir. So there was and both of my grandmothers were trustees in the church. They were kind of pillars in the community.
Okay.
So it's like, it was really a village around here.
Okay.
Everybody knew everybody.
Got it.
So when I graduated from college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to get into some kind of real estate. So I started getting into real estate and people started hearing about what I was doing. And these are people, older ladies who will watch me grow up. And now I'm growing from a boy to a man. Oh, little Jamaal is growing up and he's buying houses.
Yeah.
So when these same older ladies were getting sick and, falling ill and dying, either they or their families were reaching out to me because something had to go on with their house. Well, what do we do with grandma's house?
Right.
Oh, let's call Jamaal.
Got it.
And I would kind of help them through it and buy the house from them. And a lot of times these families might not have insurance. So the money that I'm paying for these houses is paying for these, paying for their expenses.
Got it.
So everybody kind of won.
Everybody wins. It's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Okay, so what you do most is renovate properties. Let's talk a little bit about like this property. What are you going to do with it now? Is this like a full gut or what is this?
Yes, it's a full gut. The house originally had 4 bedrooms. What I like to do if I got the space, I'll turn the top floor into a master suite, and I'll usually put a bedroom in the basement.
Okay.
And a full bathroom.
Okay.
I always go with a full bathroom, bedroom in the basement because it adds value.
Got it.
In addition, it makes the house more functional. While I decreased the number of bedrooms, because on the 3rd floor was 2 bedrooms, I converted to one to make it a suite. I still have 2 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, but I lost a bedroom upstairs and I'm adding it downstairs.
Got it. So you like pulling up the floors, taking down the walls and everything?
Yes. Almost down to the studs. Where I can keep sheetrock, I will.
Okay.
But it's really much a top to bottom. We just got finished our trades, which is electrical, plumbing, HVAC. Just had the inspection on and got my inspection done. So we're about to close up walls now. So we're going from top to bottom. So this is going to be the kitchen. Well, this was the kitchen. This is going to be the kitchen. Okay. And I'm kind of, of course you want to do an island, but it's kind of narrow, so it's not enough room. So the configuration is kind of going to stay the same, but it's going to be a peninsula that kind of comes out like an L. and the kitchen's gonna go around this way. And what I did, one of the things I'm excited about is I added a bathroom here. I always want to add as many bathrooms as possible. So this was a closet.
Okay.
And now we got the rough-in for the bathroom.
Okay.
So when companies here, they don't have to be going upstairs in your private space to use the bathroom. They can use the bathroom right here.
Okay.
I finished all my trades. So I ran all new electrical, all new plumbing, all new HVAC. So as ugly as it looks to the layperson's eye, a lot of stuff has been done here, and I'm really excited because now that I got all my inspections signed off on, now it's time to get cute and close the walls up and, kind of make it what it's supposed to be.
You guys did this in 30 days, right? So
Yeah,
you did new HVAC, new plumbing, new rough-in.
Yes,
all of
yes.
that was done in like just 30 days.
Oh yeah. They were rocking and rolling.
Oh wow, it's a lot of levels.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if there was ever a master bedroom in this house because all of them were about the same size. This was my grandmother's room.
Okay.
So this was like the main room because I spent all my time here and then with grandma watching TV.
Okay.
I would be downstairs playing, she'd be in the bed. She would call me from the basement to come flick the light off, I always wanted kids so I could tell them to do that. We have another bedroom over here.
Okay.
And what I did was, this was 2 bathrooms. It was a small bathroom right here and a small bathroom on this side, which didn't make sense to have 2 bathrooms next to each other.
Right.
I said, what I'm going to do is make a nice size big bathroom.
Got it.
Where we have the shower, nice size shower and the tub, and it's enough room to do everything. And there's going to be laundry right here, so you don't have to run all the way down to the basement to do your laundry. You can just walk right out here and do your laundry and use the bathroom. And
you've been doing this for a long time, okay? Did you figure this out, or did you pay somebody, architects that will structure
That's a great question.
The inner rooms, or did you figure this out?
I did it.
No, okay.
I usually do my own layouts.
Okay.
If I need the help somebody, me and my contractor put our heads together and configure everything together.
Yeah.
But of all the projects I did, I might have used an architect maybe twice.
Really?
Because I've done it so much.
Got it.
That I kind of know how things should go, what the flow should be. And if I need help from a mechanical eye, I'll ask my contractor who also has a good design eye, and we'll kind of come up with it together.
Okay, now let me just say this, okay? Ain't no way. I'm looking at this. There's no way I think I would have been able to just understand okay, well here is put a bathroom down here. Okay, put the laundry room, but we only got so much square footage. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but what it looks like in person, to me, it looks like I need professional help to figure this out.
Well, I'm a professional.
Exactly.
But listen, and I'm gonna say this though. I mean, it's not always easy because, we had to come back often. We had to come back a couple times. I mean, we're arguing, I'm banging my head against the wall.
Yeah.
No, this is gonna work, no, this is not gonna work. So it's not always easy, but I love this stuff so much. It's just a part of the process for me.
I was coaching someone yesterday, and we were just going over the stock market.
Yeah. And
we were going over how things, looking at a trade that she was already in. And I remember saying to her, I really love this. I like this. I'm taking the time to do it, but I like it. And I think that's so important when you're doing something, is to love it.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but I was listening to Dame Dash. And he was something to the effect of, if you are doing what's in your purpose,
it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You don't have to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Now, you really want to get paid for it.
Right.
But isn't it, you think about all these people who work 30 years in a place that they don't want to be.
Yeah, yeah.
It's different when you're really walking in your purpose and you're doing what you enjoy doing and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
It makes you walk different. It makes you wake up different. I mean, I think about when I was working a job as a school teacher. On Sunday evening around 6 something, I would start getting that little anxiety because I gotta go to sleep and In the morning, I got to deal with this, whatever it is, whatever the dynamics and politics are of the job you work. When you're doing something you like doing, for me, it makes me excited to go to sleep so I can get up early and tackle what I'm going to take. Like, how am I going to take over the world today?
Yeah.
What am I going to do great this day?
Right. It's a blessing.
It's a beautiful thing.
And you don't even realize it sometimes when you're privileged enough to be in a position to do what you love. And when someone isn't, you don't realize like the joy that you have sometimes. We could take it for granted.
You can.
Like, until you just said it, it made me just kind of think like, dang, like I'm actually doing something I love. And I remember saying it out loud just yesterday, like, I love this.
Yes.
Like, I love showing you
Yes.
this. Like, and the response was, I can tell you're so patient and you just like take your time and people can tell it. Like, I mean, you walking me through this, you showing me this, I can tell you liked it. This is
I
what
do.
you love.
I love it. I think back again when I was working a job and I would get off maybe 3 o'clock. At lunchtime, I'm watching the clock. I mean, it would take the clock forever to move.
Right.
But at 3 o'clock, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
But when I'm in this, I might be working till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. And
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like, I'm in my element. And when you enjoy what you're doing, you get different results.
Absolutely. In the 20 years of renovating homes, how many homes do you think you've renovated in that time frame?
Maybe close to 40. But I've dealt in so many different facets of real estate. I might have done 40 renovations, 40 rehabs, but I've bought and sold probably close to 100 houses. Whether it's buying something, keeping it as a rental, buying something as a quick flip, doing a wholesale deal. I've definitely done
at least 100.
At least 100 real estate transactions.
What do you think is like a manageable amount of homes to renovate in 1 year?
That's a great question. It doesn't take a lot. For somebody starting out, one.
Okay.
For somebody who is working their way into it a little more, 2.
Okay.
But ideally, I feel like if you do 4 houses in a year, you do a house a quarter.
Yeah.
That creates a great living for you.
Okay.
So my standard is, and sometimes I fall short, but I want to make $50,000 off of a rehab. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes my $50,000 I might want to get is only $40,000.
Okay.
Sometimes that $50,000 is $100,000.
Got it.
But if I do that, if I do a house 1 quarter at $50,000,
right,
I make $200,000 in a year.
Got it.
Most people don't make that on their job.
Right.
And I'm having fun doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not working hard.
Right.
Like I'm at work right now, but I'm talking to you.
Right.
I think the answer is if you could do 4 houses a year, you could create a great living for yourself.
So how do you decide how much you want to like put into the renovation?
Well, of course I'm cheap, so I want to put in as little as I need to. But I look at the market. I look to see what the houses are selling for. Now I know this block sells for anywhere between $300 and $350.
Okay.
Earlier this year.
Okay.
However, 6 months ago is not how the market is now.
Right.
So that $350 might end up being $275 to $300.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make it such that I'm not spending too much, but there's the profit there if I do decide to sell it. And I also go by what my contractor tells me as far as pricing.
Okay.
Now, a key to having a successful real estate flipping career is having a great contractor that is good, that you can trust. I trust my contractor.
Okay.
Now we battle about price because, of course, he wants to make his money, and I want him to make money.
Right.
But I don't want him to make too much money out because it takes from my profit.
Right.
So I look at the values, what the values are, look to see what I can sell it for if I decide to sell it, and if it makes sense.
Okay.
For this particular one, just to be totally transparent, my renovation cost on this is going to be about $125 to $135.
Okay.
Which I think is a little high, but maybe not because it's a 3-story house with a basement.
3-story house, basement. How many bedrooms are currently upstairs?
4 bedroom upstairs.
4 upstairs. So what's the square footage?
About 2,700.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a large project. I know at the end of the day, it's going to make a beautiful end project. I'm going to have loads of equity when I finish.
After the renovation, is the goal to rent it? What's the goal after the renovation?
So whenever you buy a house for an investment, you always got to think about what your exit strategy is. I recommend having multiple exit strategies because you never know, especially at a time like this, a volatile time in the market where interest rates are going up. You don't know what things are going to look like in 6 months when you finish your project. Once upon a time, I bought a house and my plan was to sell it, but in the midst of that, the market fell apart, so I wasn't able to sell it, so I had to do it as a rental. So with this, of course I can sell it, but I don't want to because it has sentimental value to me.
Right.
So I'm thinking about sticking my feet in the water for Airbnb.
Okay.
I'll do traveling nurses. Both of those are pretty lucrative ventures from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
More lucrative than just doing a market rent. Now I could always rent it and make probably $2,500 off of it.
Right.
But doing the ones that I just mentioned, I should probably be able to do about $5,000 a month. I'm also, so I own the house free and clear, as I told you. I'm going to sell the house. It's in my LLC. I'm going to sell it to myself and take $100,000 profit off of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to make profit off of the top, but I'm also going to make long-term passive income from whatever program I put in, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's traveling nurses, so on and so forth.
We're in like somewhat of a crazy time with interest rates.
Indeed.
The whole feel of like, you know, home prices are starting to come down a little bit. And one of the things you mentioned is that you coach people, you mentor people. And I would imagine that like you could give information, but depending on how everything is going in the economy is going to depend on what you should actually do at that time. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, you don't mind helping people? You don't mind like guiding them through this process?
I don't mind at all, because I feel like a person isn't successful until they've helped other people become successful.
Right.
And I know the importance of having a mentor. Like, had I had a mentor when I started this, I would be way more successful than I am now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had the same stumbling blocks and, you know, bumps and bruises that I incurred trying to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great situation, a great idea to have a mentor, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stock trading, whatever you want to get into. Talk to somebody, align yourself with somebody who knows more about it, who can show you what to do and what not to do. You know, I'm a person that doesn't want to learn from my mistakes. I want to learn from the mistakes of others, so I don't have to make those mistakes.
Exactly. And you've been doing this for how long?
Close to 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so I know you got all the answers.
I got some of them.
You got all the answers, right?
I've made enough mistakes to be able to share with somebody else how to not to make the same mistakes I had.
Yeah, and you're so personal. Like, I like that about when you try to get mentors, because one thing about a mentor is that they've been there, they've done it, right? But the other thing is finding somebody that you feel like you can work with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
your personalities have to match.
exactly, exactly. Like, I've, you know, seen people that might be doing something that I want to do, but I don't feel like I can really learn from that person because of their personality. You have a very likable personality.
Well, thank you. So do you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.